Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. February 2025 is bringing a fresh batch of spine-tingling movies to your favorite streaming platforms. And today, we're diving into the top 7 must-see horror films available on Amazon Prime Video, Philo, and Sling TV. Whether you're a fan of supernatural thrills, heart-pounding survival stories, or darkly comedic horrors, there's something for everyone. So grab your popcorn and turn off the lights, because we're about to explore some of the most terrifying movies to stream this month. Let's jump right in. Number 7. Color Out of Space. Color Out of Space, directed by Richard Stanley, is a visually stunning and unsettling adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's seminal short story. This cosmic horror film received widespread acclaim for its unique blend of psychological and supernatural terror, as well as for its faithful yet innovative approach to Lovecraft's ambiguous narrative. The film introduces a family living on a farm in rural New England, whose lives are turned upside down after a mysterious meteorite crashes on their property. As the meteorite's alien properties begin to warp both the land and the people around it, the story becomes a descent into madness, where reality itself seems to bend under the influence of a strange and indescribable color. What has stood out in many reviews is the film's distinct visual style, with director Richard Stanley taking the ambitious challenge of portraying Lovecraft's color out of space, an incomprehensible hue that defies human perception. Stanley uses a mix of vibrant, otherworldly visuals that combine practical effects and CGI to create an unsettling, surreal experience. The color's presence is felt throughout the film, imbuing everything with a sense of unease, especially as it contaminates the land and characters. Critics have described this visual style as a perfect representation of Lovecraft's cosmic horror, as it conveys a sense of dread that transcends the usual physical forms of horror. The film also benefits from a haunting score by Colin Stetson, which amplifies the eerie atmosphere. His compositions add an auditory layer of dread, with soundscapes that shift the viewer's perception of reality, enhancing the tension and the sense of terror that builds throughout the film. Nicolas Cage's performance has been another focal point of praise. Known for his quirky and sometimes over-the-top roles, Cage brings his characteristic eccentricity to the role of Nathan Gardner. His portrayal of the father grappling with the strange events is a mix of vulnerability and intensity, which evolves throughout the movie. Critics have noted that Cage's style blends seamlessly with the film's surreal tone, bringing both moments of poignancy and high-strung chaos as the family's situation deteriorates. Cage's portrayal of a man who's already a bit off-kilter before the madness begins fits well within the film's narrative, contributing to its emotional depth, especially as his character becomes more unhinged. For fans of Lovecraftian horror and anyone interested in a visually immersive, thought-provoking film, Color Out of Space is a standout example of cosmic terror done right. It offers a bizarre and memorable cinematic experience that lingers in the mind long after the credits roll. Number 6. Birth Rebirth. Birth Rebirth has been widely praised for its unique approach to horror, blending body horror with psychological depth and dark humor. Director Laura Moss crafts a chilling reimagining of the Frankenstein myth, exploring themes of motherhood, grief, and scientific obsession. The film's core strength lies in its two phenomenal leads: Marin Ireland as Rose, a cold, socially awkward pathologist obsessed with reanimating the dead, and Judy Reyes as Celie, a warm and loving maternity nurse whose life is shattered by tragedy. Their uneasy partnership is at the heart of the story, shifting dynamics as their desperate quest for resurrection progresses. As the film unfolds, Celie, initially the nurturing figure, begins to adopt Rose's detached pragmatism, creating a fascinating moral conflict. Unlike traditional horror films that rely on jump scares, Birth Rebirth builds dread through its unsettling premise and grotesque medical experimentation. The film features disturbing yet restrained body horror, avoiding shock value in favor of creeping unease. Surprisingly, the script incorporates macabre humor, particularly in Rose's interactions with others. Her lack of empathy makes for dry yet effective comedic moments, offering a refreshing contrast to the film's grim subject matter. Rather than following a typical horror trajectory, where a resurrected being turns monstrous, the film takes a more psychological approach. The revived child, Lila, is not evil, but altered in ways that force Celie to confront the limits of love and morality. The horror stems from the character's decisions rather than supernatural threats, making the story feel grounded and unsettlingly real. Critics have hailed Rebirth as one of 2023's most thought-provoking horror films. Its slow burn tension, strong performances, and unique tonal balance make it a standout entry in modern horror. While it may not satisfy viewers expecting traditional scares, its creeping dread and ethical dilemmas leave a lasting impact. Number 5. Sissy. Sissy has received strong positive reviews for its unique blend of horror, comedy, and social satire. The film, directed by Hannah Barlow and Kane Sines, explores the dark side of influencer culture and childhood trauma through the story of Cecilia, Aisha D., a wellness influencer whose carefully curated online persona begins to unravel when she reconnects with her childhood best friend, Emma. Critics have praised Sissy for its stylish visuals and smart integration of modern social media aesthetics. The movie cleverly satirizes influencer culture, showing how social media warps reality and personal identity. The film balances humor and horror effectively, transitioning from awkward comedy to full-blown slasher chaos. Aisha D's performance has been particularly lauded for bringing depth and emotional weight to the character, making Cecilia both sympathetic and terrifying. The horror elements in Sissy are equally engaging, featuring creative gore effects and brutal kills that keep audiences on edge. The film does not shy away from exploring the psychological impact of bullying and the blurred line between victim and villain. With its vibrant cinematography and dark humor, Sissy manages to be both entertaining and thought-provoking. Sissy is a highly creative and engaging horror comedy that offers sharp commentary on social media and personal trauma while delivering plenty of slasher thrills. It's a must-watch for fans of modern horror with a satirical edge. Number 4. Hellbender. Hellbender has been praised for its innovative approach to the folk horror genre, blending a chilling atmosphere with a striking visual style that draws inspiration from the works of Ken Russell in 70s European horror. The film, co-directed by Toby Poser and Zelda Adams, immerses the audience in a dark world filled with eerie, atmospheric tension. The story revolves around a mother-daughter duo, with the mother revealing that they belong to a dangerous lineage of Hellbenders, beings that blend witchcraft, demons, and predatory creatures. Critics have praised the film's ability to captivate despite a modest budget, especially through its stunning cinematography and the eerie, minimalist production design. The way it creates a fully immersive world, drawing the viewer into its dark mystery, has been widely admired. The blend of heavy metal music also adds a unique layer to the atmosphere, complementing the film's dark themes. The performances, particularly from Zelda Adams, have been recognized for their authenticity, especially given the real-life mother-daughter connection between the two lead actors. While some may find certain plot elements a bit sluggish, many agree that Hellbender is a refreshing and haunting take on horror that successfully revitalizes a familiar subgenre. Number 3. Last Shift. Last Shift is a gripping supernatural horror film that centers on rookie cop Jessica Lauren, played by Juliana Harkavy, who is tasked with spending her first night on duty at a closing police station. The eerie atmosphere is established from the start as the station is being shut down, and Jessica is left alone to oversee the empty building. The horror quickly escalates as she encounters disturbing visions and supernatural occurrences linked to a cult that once operated in the area. The ghostly remnants of the cult's murders continue to haunt the station, and Jessica's night becomes a psychological and emotional ordeal. The film excels in its ability to create a palpable sense of dread, using the claustrophobic environment of the police station to amplify the tension. The minimalist setting, combined with Jessica's haunting experiences, keeps the viewers on edge. What sets Last Shift apart is its focus on psychological horror, with Jessica's sanity slowly unraveling as she questions whether she's hallucinating or facing real supernatural forces. While the narrative is somewhat sparse in its explanations, leaving many of the supernatural events open to interpretation, the film succeeds in building a strong atmosphere of suspense and unease. Juliana Harkavy's performance stands out, carrying the film with her intense portrayal of a woman unraveling under the pressure of both external forces and her own fears. The horror elements, including ghostly apparitions and chilling moments, are executed effectively, keeping the tension high throughout. The film, though perhaps not groundbreaking in its genre, is an engaging watch for those who enjoy slow-building, atmospheric horror that taps into both psychological and supernatural fears. Last Shift is an underrated gem in the horror genre, driven by a solid performance and a strong sense of atmosphere. Number 2. Host. Host is a masterclass in low-budget horror that delivers a frightening and innovative experience, perfect for the age of social distancing and Zoom calls. Set entirely on a video chat during a seance, the film utilizes its constrained environment to build tension and suspense, showing that horror doesn't need a large budget to be effective. The 56-minute runtime works in the film's favor, creating an intense and fast-paced narrative that keeps viewers on edge without overstaying its welcome. The plot centers around a group of friends conducting a seance via Zoom during the pandemic. When one participant disrespects the ritual, they inadvertently summon a malevolent force that terrorizes them through their screens. The film's strength lies in its clever use of technology, making it relatable to audiences who are all too familiar with virtual meetings. The tension escalates as the characters realize they cannot escape the ghostly forces, heightening the fear in a confined digital space. The performances are impressive, with the actors' reactions feeling natural, adding to the authenticity of the terror. The jump scares are well-timed, and the sound design enhances the eeriness of the situation. Critics and audiences alike have praised Host for its ability to make the mundane frightening, turning the typical Zoom call into a terrifying ordeal. The film doesn't rely on gory effects, but instead taps into the fear of the unknown and the discomfort of being watched. While it's a simple concept, Host delivers real, bone-chilling moments, proving that horror doesn't need extravagant sets or complex plots to be effective. Its success comes from its creative execution and understanding of what scares people in the digital age. Number 1. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. The Autopsy of Jane Doe is a supernatural horror film that stands out in its genre for blending meticulous investigation with chilling suspense. Directed by Andre Everdahl, the film follows a father-son coroner duo, played by Brian Cox and Emile Hirsch, as they perform an autopsy on an unidentified young woman's body, found in a horrific crime scene. As they proceed with the autopsy, supernatural events begin to unfold, leading them to uncover a terrifying and otherworldly truth about the mysterious Jane Doe. The film succeeds in creating a growing sense of dread, using its limited setting, a morgue, as a confined, claustrophobic space where the supernatural slowly seeps in. What makes The Autopsy of Jane Doe especially effective is its deliberate pacing and atmospheric tension. The film builds a palpable unease as the investigation reveals more unsettling details about Jane Doe's past and the cause of her mysterious condition. The strength of the movie lies in how it uses dialogue and subtle visuals to craft an unsettling narrative, with the characters' reactions providing most of the horror rather than overt scares. The performances of Brian Cox and Emile Hirsch are crucial to the film's success. Cox's portrayal of the experienced, skeptical father contrasts well with Hirsch's younger, more open-minded character, providing a strong emotional core to the film. This dynamic adds depth to the unfolding mystery, making it all the more engaging for the viewer. The father-son relationship is integral to the film's progression, with both characters showing different emotional responses to the increasingly bizarre and horrifying events. The revelation about Jane Doe's true nature, midway through the film, is a turning point that transforms everything that came before it, shifting the story into a supernatural realm that is both eerie and tragic. While some have critiqued the film's ending, with its twists and certain implausible plot points, many agree that the autopsy of Jane Doe delivers a memorable, atmospheric horror experience. The supernatural elements are well executed, and the narrative makes excellent use of tension and atmosphere over traditional horror tropes like jump scares or gore. Ultimately, the film's ability to keep viewers on edge through its slow burn and shocking revelations makes it a standout entry in the genre. It's a film that thrives on suggestion and mystery, with its unsettling, slow-paced horror lingering long after the credits roll. Well, this is it. Share your impressions in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to never miss a good movie again.